Pokemon Direct was just announced. Let's talk about it. So today we're going to talk about the 5 possible video game options that could be coming to the new Pokemon series. So let's start out with number 5. So the first option is going to be an Alolan remake, or not really a remake, but just more of a sequel to the past game that we had of Sun and Moon, where a lot of speculation has been with Pokemon Stars, or another game that could be named Pokemon Z, where it'll just throw everyone off because we have Z moves, even though there's X, Y, Z for the series in Pokemon anime, so they could just totally throw a curveball at us and get one of those. So basically, wouldn't be surprised if we get a Pokemon Sun and Moon remake, but the only thing that we could be talking about more is if it's going to be coming to the Switch or to the 3DS. My assumption is everything's slowly going to be moving to the Nintendo Switch, so my guess is pretty much every single guest they'll be having from now on, I'm just going to be assuming it will be for the Nintendo Switch. So let's go, number 4. So for number 4, we're just going to go to the next possible option, which is the Diamond Pearl remake. So that's something that has been a trend. Every new generation has had a new remake, and last one we had the Gen 3 remakes, and then before that we had the Gen 2 remakes, and before that we had the Gen 1 remakes, so it's only fitting for us to get the Gen 4 remakes now. So it's not really anything too crazy to be able to assume, but that could be something that we will be getting for the Nintendo Switch. So, number 3. So number 3 could just be a spin-off Pokemon game like what we had with Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Pokemon Ranger. Now that's not something necessarily that we could be getting hyped about, but that is definitely a possibility where Pokemon could be taking a year off from the main series games and putting it to something else, just kind of like to tide over between the next game. So I mean, there really may not be that much as far as a huge game announcement tomorrow, but because I believe it's going to be 8 minutes long, so we'll see what we can get. I mean, 8 minutes, that's a long time to announce, so my guess is they'll probably be going over in anime, but before I get into that, let's just actually go into number 2. Going to number 2, I'm basically thinking that we're just going to get more information on the Pokemon 20th Anniversary movie. That's basically what I'm going to be assuming, because, I mean, we haven't really heard too much. Maybe we've gotten 2 trailers from it, and now we're getting close to like a month away from the Japanese release, so they could definitely tie in and just kind of just take back from the original Pokemon anime and just show old clips of that, what it's changed to now, have some interviews from past characters who have voiced them. That's basically what also could be happening. So it's nothing too crazy as far as a new game, because I know we all want a new game, but we don't necessarily know what's going to be happening with this Direct. So that's basically what I have for number 2. So for the last possibility is probably the most non-hyped version, but you could just think of it as maybe a Pokemon Go update, because I know they're talking about bringing the legendary Pokemon to the summer, so they could be mentioning something like that, but it wouldn't be just the Pokemon Go. They'd maybe talk about the Magikarp Jump app that just came out. Also, we know that Pokemon Tournament is probably going to be going to the Nintendo Switch, so they could be doing an announcement of that. So a bunch of little announcements could be formed into one 8-minute video, and maybe including a 20th anniversary or something like that, because if you think of it this way, if we're having a Pokemon Direct for a new video game, the past, I don't know, 4 or 5 video games have always have come out in this past December or November or October, so it's always in late fall, very early winter. So to have a game announcement in June and only have like 6 months or less for the game to come out, I feel like that wouldn't be the best PR move for Pokemon, because they can really drain out an entire game for an announcement, because we saw it with Pokemon X and Y. I think it was announced in January or February, and then we didn't get the game till October, and then we had Pokemon Sun and Moon, which is announced in February. It didn't come out till losing focus, and it didn't come out until November. So having a game announcement in June, maybe they would push it back to another May or April release dates, back when I think that happened with Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. So we could see a Pokemon main game release, but that could be maybe a release for next spring, a year away. So, I mean, we'll see what happens, but I mean, it's definitely a possibility where it might be a long time before we see a Pokemon game, but they just want to get another hype announcement where people can start getting excited for the next games rather than just sitting and waiting for some kind of announcement to happen. So once you have that announcement, hype starts to raise up, and the people are always going to be talking about it until the new game. So we'll see what happens, but those are my speculation or theories that you guys can be seeing, possibly with this Pokemon Direct. But you guys won't have to wait too long to be able to figure out when this actually happens, because it happens tomorrow. So I hope you guys are all excited for the Nintendo Direct, and I have a new outro, so why don't you guys take a listen.
Hey trainers, Ash Ketchum here to thank you for watching the Poke Resort. Become a Pokemon Master by subscribing to Austin's channel. Don't forget to see his other recent videos so you can watch them all. Pikachu and I have surfing lessons with Austin's Alolan Raichu. So, we'll catch you later.